hell's my remote? There's a lot going on my desk right now, and oh, there it is. Gib. All right. So, think back, probably to a time before you were watching this channel. 6 years ago, I reviewed this. This is the Behringer A800. And if you go all the way back to the beginning of this channel, when I was doing reviews, I bought this to be like my test bench amp. This was the whole point of it. It weighs 19 pounds and it's got heat sinks, and it was 300 watts per channel into 8 ohm. No, 300 watts per channel into 4 ohm, or you could bridge mono it and you got 600 watts per channel into 8 ohm. And this was like my baby. And then when I moved to this apartment, I bought a second one, which is down there on the floor, because that's where the amps go now. And they ran my living room. My living room was run by 2 of these for a long while. And when I bridged monoed them, I used them with my ohms. I had them all the way up to my ohm Walshes. These were the dedicated amplifier for my house. Like the big, big amplifier. I'm going to turn that on for luck. And then these sort of, I found their limitations when you started getting to like the ohm levels of things, where yes, it's 600 watts at 8 ohms, but the ohms aren't exactly 8 ohms, they're more like 6 ohms. And when you get them really loud, ohms change as you try to push things harder. It's a fluid thing, which is why it's very hard to say what actual loads you're going to get on something. And this thing turned into a pizza stone. I could have made pizza on it. And I've actually had some like thermal problem. It was like, stop. And that's in monoblock. So that's not even like running a pair of them, 1 per channel. And that's when I came into the Crowns, and I started looking into Crowns, and I started looking into other heavy amplifiers. And what I ended up settling on was the Crown 2502s, which are crazy big versions of their Class D. So why is it back on my desk? Well, because that's a good reason to be here, but this is a better reason to be here. So I went to go look this up to link it sometime, like recently, like within the last 2 weeks. And I saw it wasn't for sale on Amazon anymore. And I'm like, because this thing ran between $200, like the $200 was like the good price. Sometimes magically $150 somewhere, Sweetwater would have it. Then I saw this, the blacked out, you know, that BMW asshole who's matte blacked his like X5 because he's just too cool for anybody to even like, don't even pay attention. Well, that's the A800. And instead of 19.5 pounds, this is less than 9. And it's more powerful because instead of having, and I'm going to open this up and you're all going to go, I love amplifiers. And I'm trying not to electrocute myself because it is on and running. Tordial monster. Big caps, heat sinks. This is Class AB. Well, now, 2020, aluminum, oh my God, aluminum instead of steel, which helps add to the weight. But then also, you look in here, it's like, yeah. We're gonna have to change our ways, because this is like looking under the hood of a Tesla versus looking under the hood of like a muscle car. And the thing is, a Tesla will fuck up most muscle cars. And that's what's happening here. It's the same thing that happened when I got the Crowns. I got the Crowns, and I was like, holy shit, this is possible? Because this way of building an amplifier has been the same way of building an amplifier since the 40s. Well, no, 40s was probably tubes. We got in solid states in the 60s, 60s, 70s, 70s to 80s. Big old transformers, big caps, you know, complicated fucking nest of wires, boards on either side. Today, there's no wires. There's only like the power button wire, and that's it. Everything else is on a single board. This monster transformer, it says music on it. This 2-channel, 4 ohm, 300 watts a channel. 2-channel, 4 ohm, 400 watts a channel. And it weighs nothing. This I can't pick up. I really like, it's got handle loops in the back. No. So Zeos isn't any good. While I tested it in a couple places before I brought it here. And then I brought it here on a live stream and I hooked it up. And then I put on some very inefficient speakers. My RB42s. Still great. I almost want to re-review them every month so that people remember, because people have very, very short memories. If you tell them something's great, then a month goes by, then they're like, hey, Zeos, but what's great now? No, these are still great. These are still like reason I went to RMF great. Blue Scholar's Fin. I'm sure that sound's gonna somehow get me pulled off of YouTube. It's great. I know what they sound like. I know what the two of them sound like. I know what compared to the two of them sound like. This sounds better. Because the benefit of a Class AB is that it'll go from 0 to 100% and only at like 98, 99, like right at the edge will you start to hit thermal property boundaries and have distortion start coming and ramping up. And Class D, which does not stand for digital, but I mean, it's not much. This feels more analog than that. But what this does is it stays extremely clean right until about 65, 70% of the rated wattage, which a company, by the way, could literally make an amplifier that goes to 400 watts, and then that's where the terrible things ramp up. And they could just say, you know what? Chop. And then all of a sudden, their amplifier is clean all the way till maximum, which they have obviously limited. So this is just a cleaner, more linear amplifier. It's the 7.8. This is like 7.89 tech. It's not quite there. I mean, we're talking about Behringer here, which has a very, very lackluster appeal out there. And I've always given them the benefit of the doubt and my money, obviously. This is purchase. You support this channel on Patreon and Subscribestar. You bought this amplifier, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations. And oh, by the way, now that I know that this exists, and it is $300, it's not, this was always $200, a little bit less. This is the newest tech. Even though there's so much less in here, they're charging more because you, trust me, you want it to be this, amp and not this amp. You just want that. There are going to be some people who want this amp, and for those people, check out my Patreon or Subscribestar, because guess what's going to be in the yard sale? I don't know if I'll sell them as a pair. I might just sell them individually because they are stereo. You can bridge mono them. But I mean, if you just need an amplifier, you need an amplifier that I used literally from the dawn of this fucking channel up until like last year. This was it. This was my I feel good. Zeos picked a cheap winner. And anyone who got an A500 from my recommendations, I'm sure you're here, everybody. Hi, everyone. Please go in the comments and explain why the A500 is still great. It is still great. It is still great. This is better now. I'm warning you. I'm telling you, I'm here to bring you the good news or the bad news, depending on how you want to see it. Because this is the old tech and this is the new tech, and the new tech fucking, I want to say rocks, but it feels wrong when you look at like the insides of that versus the inside of this. The new tech is better. It's better. Every review on Amazon, 8 straight 5-star reviews, and they're not like those fake reviews that like some companies hit a button and a bot posts. I love amp great, it made speaker best, and then it's like that. These people are going into detail. They're comparing against the A500 because they're as curious as I am. This was the staple for I need cheap power. Zeos, should I get this setup, and on my desk? People were putting these on their desks. And I was okay with that because when you needed 100 and, what was it? 100, I think it was like 125 watts per channel, 8 ohm stereo. You had this much transformer and those caps there. Those are how many microfarad? 3,300 times 2 channel. You had it. You had that power at your disposal. So you could run any DAC you want. You obviously don't, we should already talk about the actual design. It's a power amplifier, which means there's a power button to turn it on and off. And then these are not volume knobs, these are gain knobs. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to set them like I have these set vertically. They click, they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're supposed to control them externally. I just happen to be using the LKS Digital Audio DAC. It's the same DAC I used when I reviewed the, actually, did I review anything with this on it? The Martin Logans. The Martin Logans in my living room. This was the DAC I picked out for that. And I had to get this review done. It'll probably happen naturally after this review because I've grown to trust this DAC. But this DAC has a volume control right here. 8.5, 9, 15, 20. So I can unpause the music. Get out of that song. Get out of that song.
We got to run on.
And I can raise... That's Blacklicious Paragraph President. All right, so if you want to go look for that. So what you need for one of these is essentially minimum one of, well, I'll just take them both down off the shelf and don't drop it inside because that'd be bad. Something like this. This is the cheapest options you got. A shit sys, which is just source inputs and a volume knob. Or this is the JDS Labs. What's your denomination? I forget what this one's called. They all have weird ones, but this is, you need a volume control. You need an external volume control. And not everything can grant you an external volume control because there's tons of DACs out there. Even a Mica Origin has an output that you can control the volume of because you need to give this thing less or more signal. You could do it through Windows. I don't recommend it highly. I highly don't recommend you having just a normal like standalone DAC with no volume and then just saying, I'll just lower the foobar volume down and then it won't blow my speakers up. Although you could do that as long as you tempered these knobs to be right at the limit before explosion so that no matter what happens there, it doesn't explode. So testing these on efficient speakers, the way you test an amplifier, the way I test an amplifier is you put something really hard on it. And believe it or not, these are really hard. Those Heresy 4s in my living room are not hard. Those are not hard. There's a couple speakers up there that I would consider hard, but just for ease of use, RB42s. Trust me, they're fucking hard because I have these vertical and I've got this at -4.5 decibels. So, I mean, there's plenty of headroom above that, but I'm sitting at a desk and it's playing loudly and they're not exploding like we are. We're not exploding them, so trust me when I say these are very hard to drive. But Zeos, how do you test cleanliness? Because obviously this is testing how much power they have and how much they could push, but I want to know if they're clean. Well, I have to change devices for that, and I'll do that right now. I'm going to cover, as much as I would love to leave this one uncovered, because of the sheer and absolute beauty, which by the way, I usually keep little magnet squares. Links to little magnets, because when you pull screws out, it's nice to have them. They just clip to the top, but I can't do that on the new one because it's aluminum. I'm gonna put this back on here. Very gentle-like. And then I'm going to lift this son of a bitch up, because maybe some of you remember this thing. This is an IFI IESL, and its job is to convert several inputs, whether it be from a balanced headphone amplifier or an ESL iLink for the other DAC this comes with, or speaker terminals, and convert it for use on electrostatics. So I'm going to put these on my head. I'm going to... Actually, this is off, so we should be good. I'm just going to unplug this, double check my inputs here. It's left over there, so that's left, so that's, don't put it out of phase, that'd be weird. There. And then take this side. Oh, God. Imagine if I edited how boring this channel would be. Things would just automatically happen and you wouldn't see me panic and freak out and breathe heavy. So now... I'm going to, at first, lower the fuck out of that. I'm going to lower these down to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're at 48 volts down there. I'm going to turn this to speaker. We have power. It's got a little power plug. Now, what is going to happen is I'm going to get this caught completely in bullshit. It's fine. It's fine for this. I don't care. It's fine. It's not fine. I can't live with that. I love this. I love Stax. I love Stax. It's so great. We'll make sure we're in the custom pro setting. We're in the right voltage. We're on this. You can control the ohm load of this. This is like a $900. I think I paid $900 for this. When IFI offered it to me, I was like, yeah, I'll take it. How much? Oh, fuck. And I bought it specifically for what I'm doing today, and you've not seen me do in a long time. But now I'm setting the ohm load, powering through this $1,400 DAC, through a $300 Behringer amp, which has got some people cringing like a motherfucker. But then I'm powering my L700s with it. All right? So when you want to know how powerful an amplifier is, I whip out some RB42s and some really inefficient speakers and just see if it can push them. But when you want to know how clean an amplifier is, this is it, boys and girls. Ain't nobody, this makes you a human oscilloscope. So let's, I guess let's go. What do I have to do? I'm just double checking. All right, it's on. So here's the thing also, if I lower this all the way down, just 6, wherever we end up. So it's currently playing, it's just very, very quiet. If I just start turning these knobs, any noise in the amplifier would be bleeding into this right now. And I'd be like, yeah, I would hear the, and I could hear it in this. When I reviewed my crowns in the living room, I did not, I tested on this. I tested this method. This method's been gone and sleeping for years. But holy shit, because I'm here now with this amplifier amplifying its own noise into the stacks, and there is no noise. This is why it's got 5 stars. Because I'm currently, and let me ramp this up so I could actually hear music on it. Yeah, those are stacks. I am currently, get it? Get it? Currently? I'm a fucking lyricist. I am currently, click. I'm sure the Google is going to hear this coming out of the stacks, and they're going to be like, oh, we could mute the video or not pay you the $18 this video will make, so I'm going to skip through a little bit faster. This is exactly what I expect out of my stacks. Genesis, yes, we all need more Genesis in our lives. Bravo, Behringer. It took you long enough. I mean, Crowns had their lightweight fucking lines out for years. And I don't think Behringer has touched this stuff, unless I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't pay that much attention. I don't get like newsletters from places that say, oh, Behringer just released this. So when I saw it, I had to know. I had to know, and I think you had to know. I think you have to know. This is a fucking solid amplifier. And more than ever, more than fucking ever, if you are setting up a desk, like a, well, maybe not a 4-foot desk like I've got here, but if you're setting up a desk and you're like, hey, Zeos, I want a little more power for my LS50s. It's $300. You have to control it externally. I don't recommend. I mean, you could, if you want to be a mad lad, you could just raise individual volumes every time you want to raise or lower the volumes. You could do that with the gains on front. It's not how it's supposed to work. It can work. It's not how it's supposed to work. These should actually almost be in the back. Oh, we should probably talk about how the layout has changed too, because there's differences. 1 second, though. I want to just get another epic score, ultimate payback. Lindsey Sterling. Yeah, if you're going to test an amplifier, what you do is you test it via fucking stacks. I should have whipped this out for the Emotiva amp. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, because Emotiva has contacted me and they're going to send me, remember those monoblocks I talked about? The ones that looked like a bread box or toaster oven? Yeah, those are coming this way, baby. Can't wait to try those. And you know what? This will be there to try with them. So let me put this down for a second. Which, by the way, this is the stand that came with my 909s, the Fostex stand, and it fits stacks perfectly. Look, perfection achieved. Okay. What was I just going to do? I was doing a thing. Oh, we're looking at the back. That's right. It's all right. This is not early onset Alzheimer's. It's fine. Although tinfoil can do that, I've heard. I've heard if you imbibe tinfoil, that works. Jesus, everything is heavy. You know how heavy this fucking thing? This is all transformers. Because it's converting voltages down. So the back of the A... That doesn't sound great, but that's a thing. The back of the A500, look, had the inputs separated left and right because of... hold on. I knew I had to take it off. Speaker. Because that's where the board was. That's the... And Behringer doesn't label them left and right. They just label them A and B. Because you could have 19 of these stacked up. They're not going to label one left and left, 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 left. If one is A, B, C, you know. So here is the board, and that's why you had all your inputs down the line. And I'm going to try to lean this without it. Oh, God. So many bad things. Actually, I'm going to shut this off. I thought I was going to hook it up during this, but it's too risky and dangerous to do. Oh, Jesus Christ. Everything is just, it's all gone to hell. Welcome to Z Reviews, everyone. Hashtag it's all gone to hell. Your outputs were a vertical line right here, bridged here. Here's your power input for this massive fucking monster, which is now sitting on my crotch. You had 1/4-inch outputs for bridge mono and output 1 and 2, which I've seen old speakers that had like 1/4-inch plugs for things, but I've never actually seen it on another amplifier. You get 1/4-inch inputs here and here, which don't fuck that up, which one you plug into, because that'd be bad. XLR and RCA, actual RCAs. Which someone custom made me these RCAs, so don't ask me where they're from. They're really nice amphinols and flexible, and I love them. So this was how they had to design them back in the day, because they had to accommodate the boards. Now, put that down. Gently put it down on the floor. Now, I want to shut you off too. Anything blowing up? No? Good. Now, I gotta unplug those too. F it. So, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so light. I did it with the, did I do this? Did I do something like that in a previous review? I think I've gotten better at it. Hold on. Yeah, I'm definitely better at it now. Okay. That's fucking light. This is just a metal box, and they made it aluminum because I just wanted to keep saying how light it is. So God, it's just a board with nothing on it. Anyway, the back, it's so light. The back, instead of a vertical array, horizontal array, the same bridge mono as the center, no 1/4-inch outputs now. Now they've gone to these full speak-on connectors. I remembered. I knew when it come down to it. AC outlet is on the side because we only need to basically feed these small things and then have one go across. Yeah. So you get speak-ons. You get no 1/4-inch outputs. You have to pry out, by the way. If you get this, there's caps in here that protect you from using banana plugs, because in Europe they can't use banana plugs because the plugs in the wall look like plugs to the thing. So I don't know, it's a whole thing. Here's your switch for stereo or bridge mono. The switch is on the other unit in the corner. And here's your inputs on one side. So you get your XLR inputs, which are interchangeable with the 1/4-inch. So you really you shouldn't have more than one input plugged into a power amp at the same time, because it will try to amplify both. And if you put, 2¼ volts into here, and then 4 volts into here, and then you plug another one into here, the voltage goes up and up and up. Bad things happen, only bad things. But you can see here, input impedance sensitivity balanced 20 kilo ohms at 4 plus dBu, and unbalanced is 10 kilo ohms at negative 10 dBu. So that's just the how the output impedance works in that. But you do get A and B, but they're not marked left and right, even though that one's white and that one's red, because that's just the way companies sell those terminal blocks. But yeah, no, that wallpaper and this. There is a lot. They have squeezed a lot out of very, very little. This piece of hot glue. And the one thing I did notice about this versus the crowns, my crowns have a fan built in, but it never comes on. My crowns never exuded heat. And this one will actually get hot. Just right around here, right around this section, you could feel it radiates heat. Over here, not so much. Actually, wait. It's got to be these clamp terminals here that are generating the heat. Because, I mean, capacitors don't really, well, they can get hot. I think they're just contact hot. Fucking yes. Behringer has made another yes. I'm reset the clock. I have a GIF from Pacific Rim with the guy, reset the clock. And the reset the clock is, oh shit, Zeos endorsed another Behringer product. He's a piece of shit for another 3 or 4 years. So I was a piece of shit 6 years ago when I endorsed those amps, and I'm a piece of shit now. So if the option is crown or this, I'm still going to say crown. However, there is one thing about the crown that I never really touched on, and I only found out about it really later, is that the crown has a DSP in it. Always. It's built into the front, into that screen where you could set crossovers and you could limit things. So it's all getting, all the signals, all the analog signals do get processed on the crown. And you can't like bypass it because it's just all one unit. This doesn't have any DSPs. This is a very dumb amplifier. It is power, knob, power, that's it. So in the grand scheme of people mentally saying, well, this actually has less in the way from the signal inputs to the power outputs than the crowns do. I'd probably still, actually, I think it's prettier than the crowns. Like with this new blackout treatment, where this is no longer silver and the knobs are black. I mean, yeah, it kind of looks like someone's going ghetto blaster with their Escalade, but it's understated as fuck. And I love the VU meters with the red, with the actual proper colors. The only issue I have is they haven't figured out a way to sell it where these are not attached. These are the rack mount ears, so you could rack mount something. So I wanted to rack mount this. I could just, you know, boom, rack mount, done. But if you're going to use it on a desk, you're going to be stuck with, well, basically handles so that you can grab it like that. I'm going to put this down now. Yeah, I approve. I fucking approve of this Behringer. I don't know if I'll keep it around. I might keep it around. I'm going to sell the other ones. I might keep this one around just for testing purposes when I need an amplifier. I need an amplifier I could trust, because all my crowns, I have 3 crowns running in my living room, 3. This one down here, which no one remembers, is the 1502, and that runs the 2 subwoofers here, and then these are the 2502s with all sorts of faceplates and things to make them look pretty because they're ugly as sin. Bak bak, have I come? I have come with you. So I am a big believer of Class D. I love the D. D is my favorite class of anything. I mean A, but A's got its moments. But you know, this is infinite power at a relatively cheap prices, and it's clean. So this is gonna take it a lot of the time. So very much approve of this. If you're building a crazy desk setup and you bought one of these, it's much shallower. It's like my hand is wider than it. So you could tuck this away on a desk and not even notice it, and it'll be legit. I would not have an issue with you. If I started violently reviewing, hey, Zeos, roast my setup. Should I make those videos? I know, like Joshua Valor and stuff, he reviews people's setups, but I would be violent. There's no way I could hold back from just destroying people for what the fuck they're doing. It would not be nice. But if you'd like to see that, tell me. But yeah, this on the desk, I'd have no issues. Fucking no issues. If you have, oh, you got that? You got the A800? Awesome. That wallpaper is available in the description. Every wallpaper available on my Patreon or Subscribestar. You can support this channel, see these reviews early, ask me any questions you want, and participate in the yard sales. The yard sales I was talking about earlier, where I'm selling those Behringer A800s that are going to cost $800 to fucking ship because they're so heavy. $5 gets you all that. And that happens from the 1st to the 10th of the month, the yard sales. And ask me any questions you want, blah, 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 blah. See these videos early. If there's none of these left in stock, the patrons bought at least whatever's left on Amazon. $10 Patreon tier is the private, behind-the-scenes, VIP Telegram chat. Pinky up Telegram chat. And those people basically can tell me what to do on this channel, or at least advise me. Or I advise them at least as much as they advise me. There was a whole issue came up about, you know, should I ask companies to pay for reviews? And they were like, nah. So, you know, I'm listening to them. They're the ones they're the deal makers in this scenario. I mean, I'm still Zeos, and therefore I outrule everybody. But, you know, they don't get to pick the wallpapers, and that's my job. I'm important. I'm like the janitor of this channel. The perverted janitor of this channel. It's a good title. Put it on my business cards. Anyway, I will link to everything here. You will probably see this on Hi-Fi Guides, both the forum and the site. If you haven't seen, and I hope the mouse works up here on top of a speaker. I've never used an RB42 mouse pad. Where are we? Here's the forum. By the way, the forum. Let's refresh it. I haven't refreshed it in a couple days. Let's see. What is everyone talking about? What should my headphone progression be? Oh boy, just don't. What are your other hobbies? That's a good one. I think people should have other hobbies like guns and anime girls and cars, because those are cheap. None of those are cheap. Rock climbing, coffee, and scuba diving. Oh, Jesus. So anyway, here we do have headphones, in-ear speakers, subwoofers, headphone sources. So this would be a speaker source. So this would be a slightly different. We have to add a new category to the Hi-Fi Guides. But it's probably going to come in. I mean, we have speakers, so you might as well have things as amp speakers. So we'll work on that. But yeah, thank you for my patrons and the people on Subscribestar who are actually less smelly, because Subscribestar has got lower fees. But I love them all equally for buying this. You essentially bought this, and you've made this review possible with fucking love. And that whoever the artist is for that, you can look them up with Sauce Now, and they've also provided some love. And I will see you all tomorrow for another review. Right? We good here? Good. Tomorrow.